Last weekend, I dropped into the Hyrox New York City fitness race at Pier 76. 5,600 athletes came out to compete from around the globe. Hyrox is one of the fastest growing events, and if you haven't heard of it, now's the time to dial in. On race day, I caught up with a few recreational Hyrox athletes from London and Wahighton D.C, as well as Marni On The Move podcast guests, Rideout and his lovely wife, Shelby. Prior to race day, Hyrox hosted a media event led by David Magida Hyrox 2023 U.S. champion and head of global programming. He showcased a walkthrough of the many Hyrox exercises, proper form, and tips and advice. We also just had him on the Marni On The Move podcast. You will also hear from Centr CEO Andrew Sugerman and Cristian Toetzke, founder and CEO of Hyrox. Hope you enjoy.
I'm Vincent.
And where are you guys from?
We're from London. UK.
So did you come to New York to do this race?
Yes.
How many times have you guys done it before?
I've done Hyrox 5 times. This is my 5th time, but I've never done it with my boyfriend.
This is my first time.
And so are you guys like connected on a deeper level now that you are in the pain cave together?
Yeah, actually I would say yes.
Yeah, definitely tests the relationship. It's quite difficult to go around
Through adversity together.
Yeah.
That's a good
And
thing.
how did you feel today? It's pretty hot in New York.
Oh, it's so hot. It's incredibly hot. The concrete is like the sun was bouncing off the concrete. The mats are black. Whoever chose them is crazy. But yeah, it was good. It was good.
Awesome.
We finished. That was the goal.
Are you going to do it again?
100%.
100%. We're going to stay doing destinations Hyrox. So traveling and doing Hyrox as destinations.
Oh, that's cool. And you guys are from where?
We're from Washington, D.C.
Nice. And, yeah.
F7 and F45.
Oh, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. And so, how many times have you done Hyrox competitions? And obviously, you're Ruckers, so yeah.
We've both done. This is our 3rd Hyrox that we've done.
Yeah.
This is her first go rock.
First go rock.
Yeah.
Oh, go rock, right?
Yeah, and then it was a great time.
Yep, we were just
Beautiful
in
venue.
Anaheim 2 weekends ago.
Are you gonna keep doing them, or do you love it?
Oh yeah, definitely. We're
We
already
got-
talking about which one we're doing next.
We got the Hyrox bug for
Yeah.
sure.
What do you like about New York City?
I think this one's so cool because it's outside. Very hot, but
Yeah.
it was a different vibe, a different experience. The energy's so high, and everyone's just excited to be here. So
Yeah, it was gorgeous. Like running around the course, being able to see the city in the background while you're running through, definitely helped with the pain.
Yeah, it's beautiful on the water
Oh, it
here.
was
Yes.
a gorgeous, gorgeous view.
4 weeks. Obviously, the run, the SkiErg, the rower, because it's all cardio. But the sweat I don't actually mind. I fucking hate the wall balls and I hate the burpees. Lunges, I'm good, but the burpees and the wall balls, they got the girls are in my head. I'm ready. That's right. And I'll drop dead if I have to.
All right, guys, I just stumbled upon someone even cooler. Like Rideout, white, secret behind Rideout. All right, so now are you super athletic?
As my dad would say, I was. Back in the day, I ran track. And I couldn't stop. So I'm just walking around like, my dad was like, oh, maybe I can train for this.
She's doing next year.
Well, then the other half of me that might be for the higher percentage, like, or I can eat cheese and have a glass of wine and cheer everybody on.
So
So,
you're visiting you for the weekend, for the weekend?
yeah, well, not even. I flew in today at 5:10, but it's the contract is, so I flew in about 2, and I'm out tomorrow morning with nothing. I'm very good at them.
Nice.
And we're in Nashville now.
It's so great to meet you.
I know,
So excited. I mean, for everyone out there that's like, Rideout is amazing. It is. Like, this wife, a woman who is like behind him.
Yeah. So,
And it takes her.
yeah, well, it does. It takes wonderful leadership. Thank you. It's great to meet you. I'm rooting for him, and he has a stronger mindset than anyone I've ever met. So,
That's so inspiring.
yeah, it is. It is.
Thanks for being here to see everything that's being set up Cristian's going to talk all about the amazing things that are going on in Hyrox. I want to talk quickly about the world of Centr and our role here as CEO. My background, I came from Disney, where I oversaw brands and franchises from all those universes and worlds that all of you know and love so well. Those things are all about audience, engagement, creating something that's sticky and makes people want to stay and be a part of it. And that's kind of what you're going to see tomorrow. It's engagement, it's audience, it's sticky, it's things that people really want to be a part of. And for me, that was one of the big reasons why I came to Centr. It was started by Chris Hemsworth, also of the Disney universe, Thor, for those of you that don't know. And it was started as his journey of bringing together nutrition and mindfulness and fitness into what is Centr. We've taken Centr now and have evolved it into being something much more. It's equipment, it's about performance, it's about endurance. And in the future, Centr and Hyrox are partnering on things on the digital front that I'll just tease, but that could be really exciting for athletes going forward into 2025 and beyond. On the equipment side, so I came to Hyrox in Anaheim a year ago and walked into this auditorium. This is much nicer, by the way. And walked in and was like, what am I seeing? Like, what is this thing? I hadn't even heard of Hyrox at that point. I walked in and it's 2,000 athletes in this buzz that was, in the best of ways, cultish. And I was like, oh my God, this is something I want to be a part of. Walked around and with Cristian figured out what are ways we can use equipment to up-level the experience and make it something that's more unique. So when they're touching things and pushing things and maybe cursing as they're pushing things, that it's a very memorable experience. And so we started building the equipment intentionally for every single station that you'll see. So we started from scratch and built 4 and solved different athlete needs at every single step. For design, so it's made to look good in 2024. It doesn't look like it came from like the Moscow Olympics from whenever that was, but it's really made to look like it is meant to be here. It's meant to be in gyms, studios, clubs. We are with today and tomorrow we are launching that extended line. So all the things that are seen here, it's now going to be available in the full scope of every kettlebell size, every bumper plate size, wall ball size. That's now available for gyms, clubs, and studios. Initially in the US and Europe, and soon all over the world.
Background, so I'm coming from classical endurance events, so marathon events, cycling, triathlon events. Created a lot of that, like for 30 years. But I was always also a gym guy, and I started looking at the gym industry, the gym business. 200 million people, I remember. And there were similar, basically no events where people really do what they do, the training to a sport, to a true sport, which everyone can do, which will, I think, dramatically change the way how gyms will operate a little bit. It will help everyone in the gym business. It will bring more people, even more people to the sport now, not to the training. So it's more about athletic background. It's more about real training. It's also about getting better, improving your time, comparing your time with your friends, comparing your time with people in Australia, in New York, in everywhere in the world. You have age groups. You have all this stuff that keeps you in the game, like what made running so popular. There will be another 6,000 spectators, so we'll be very busy. I think that's the number of an individual CrossFit Games day, just to put it in perspective. But just to tell you what is possible, I'll just launch our next event in London, London Excel next November, and because the demand is so high, it's like for a Taylor Swift concert, you sell everything in a minute. So everyone is in front of the computer, tries to get through. So to make it a bit more fair, we switched to a ballot system, and which we just finished yesterday. We have 60,000 people applying for a ticket.
A really good experience, and then things are just going to take off. This is one of 2 machines that you're going to encounter in the race. If you're running singles, you can go, they're gonna point you to an exact SkiErg to get on. They don't want you running to any random one. You're basically gonna fill in, running as you enter, all the way down. So real quick, first things first, I like to put the duck bill right into the meat of my palm right there. That's gonna give you the most power and control. When I ski feet, I like my, where my toes meet my foot to be right about where the side rail meets the platform itself, and then I hinge my hips, I brace my core, my lats are super tight and in control, and then I'm driving down, my elbows are leading this process. I don't want to lead with my hands, I have no power here. My power is tight core, tight elbows, and if you want to speed it up to a couple half strokes,
The technique we talked about.
maybe like a set round.
Yep.
That's all I process.
Guide with the elbows. High.
And the center sleds are a bit different than most of the sleds that you've encountered. One of the big differences that you're going to see is that the poles are a little bit higher. There's also this really nice knurling on it. It includes markers for different levels that you can grab. The way these sleds are biting on the turf, I wouldn't recommend going to the highest level. I would recommend dropping at least one level down and bite, but instead you can really tuck in behind and drive it. I like either chest in, bent elbow technique, or you can invert your grip and really get your chest in close. A lot of people do this because I'm gonna sit my hips back and lean, then hunch back, staying in the box. I want to discard the rope to the side, so I leave myself a nice clean rein to work with. Back up to the front of the box. Then I step up, and then I jump. Station 5, this is the other machine that you're going to encounter in the race, and this particular machine is the only time that you get to sit down during the entire race, so take advantage of it. This is also the place, like if you're going to take any energy gels or anything like that, this is the time to do it. You're just past halfway, you've just finished running, so I like to, if there's a water station nearby, which it looks like there might be with this Red Bull area, I like to grab water, eat my energy gel, chug it as I'm sitting down, and then row. When you row, a couple things. One, you do not have to leave the foot settings where you want them. It just depends how much time you want to spend making adjustments on this rower. The damper should be set, preset changes. So women, it's preset to 6. Men, it's preset to 7. If you consider yourself to be like more of like a power athlete, leave it about where it's at. Nobody needs to go any higher than those numbers. It's not going to help you. Your legs are going to be pretty rough at this point. And then when you pull, just a few things technique-wise to keep an eye on. I know we have an actual real rower somewhere out here, so hopefully I don't embarrass myself here. So brace your core. You can come up to the toes, essentially. You're tall in the torso, you're driving through the heels. I want to hit my head. Big lean away. Again, stroke is explode. If you consider yourself like a really aerobically fit athlete, here.
Now it is.
Okay, so our damper, I would damper you down to a 5, personally. And then you can reach forward a little further in the front, right? So you're gonna drive through your heels with power. Legs to core to arms. Brace here so it's not folding you as you drive. Reach forward long. There you go. To squeeze the life out of the bell. Your grip will last longer if you're just in a hook grip as opposed to trying something that makes sense. So a couple things with these. These bags were designed in a couple ways. One is like you have all these different grip options, really intelligent grip options. These were designed to be super durable. But the bag itself, everybody know how to lean a weight up? So when you get it in front of you, people are going to try and go around their bags to get them up. Don't do that, please. Just with the weight in front, bend your knees, hinge your hips, drive your hips, and punch your elbows through, right? To get it up to here, and then you can just use your legs to get it up and over into position. If bracing your core so your back doesn't take the brunt of this, it'll be fine.
Do I know how to lead? Not sure.
Yeah, you got it.
I think I got it.
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
stitching, the cross stitching was definitely designed to be like for a level of durability, but also looks really, really nice. Wall balls in general are either you love them or you hate them. I think most people hate them, and they hate them because they're not doing them correctly. So a couple things that we can do to make them less terrible is learn how to position our bodies and learn how to breathe correctly through them, because that's a huge thing. So think about the way you would squat. When you squat, before you make that big descent, you're filling up that big deep belly breath until your core is super braced, and then you're exhaling the effort. It's very similar with wall balls. So when I set up for a wall ball, I want to have my feet a little bit apart so my hips can move freely. I don't want to be in this narrow stance. And then I'm going to try and stay under the ball. So I don't want to be under the target, but I also don't want to be way back here. Like, this isn't helpful to me at all. If I'm throwing the ball all the way off that target, like, that's a lot of extra distance that the ball has to travel. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to start in, I like to be about 2 feet behind the target, sit my hips back, keep my spine tall. People get tired doing wall balls because they're catching the ball out in front of them. It's pulling them. Then their shoulders are getting tired, their lats, their abs, their back. Everything's working on overtime to try and get you through 100 reps of this. So instead, we stay tall spine, we get under the ball. Our palms are under, not on the side, but actually under the ball, so we don't have to squeeze it to hold it. And now we squat to death, we drive the hips. Hands under the ball. Control it. Right? Here. Perfect. Now lean into your collarbone a little bit. Now, right? Here. Control that ball. So you just gotta find your initial, your spot to start, right? So we find the sweet spot. So you feel like it's coming out. Good. Okay. Eyes up, right? So this is your position. Right, your chin. And now, drive your hips, explode your feet, right? Explode. So, we're gonna back. You're not racing? Okay, one. Now you felt how it came up like from the shoulder line. That tells you right? And that's the hard part, is finding the right amount of up and the right amount of forward. Squat. But it's actually forward momentum. Oh, it's so hard. There you go. Right? And so in the catch, where I'm catching the ball in my palms, my collarbone, and my chin is part of the pocket. So I'm literally, if it's rubbing against my chin, it's actually a good thing. So that means that my chin is keeping the ball in, that means the ball's in close. It also means maybe my chin is kind of under the ball, and it's literally taking some of the weight off my hands and off my shoulders. And that makes doing wall balls a lot easier. When you're